and welcome to Reliving My Youth. My name is Noel. My guest this week is Courtney Gains. The actor/musician is pretty busy these days. He has 2 songs currently on the charts. We discuss his music and how he got Slash of Guns N' Roses to play in one of his songs. Courtney also stars in the upcoming movie Barn Part 3. And if you haven't seen the Barn movies, check them out. They're pretty entertaining horror movies. And he also has a song, Fear the Boogie, in the movie. Courtney got his start with the horror movie Children of the Corn, playing Malachai. He made the conscious effort to get out of the horror genre following that movie, and he did that pretty successfully, having roles in Back to the Future, Colors, The Burbs and Memphis Belle, to name a few, and we also discussed the cult classic Winners Take All. He had a memorable guest starring role in the Smelly Car episode of Seinfeld. I really enjoyed my conversation with Courtney, and if you do, please rate and review the show. I would really appreciate it. Here's Courtney. So Courtney, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, man. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of your latest songs. Congratulations for 2 of them charting right now. That's really
All right. We're
awesome.
launching the music first. Awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Wandering Dream just got up to 61 on the SRM chart, which is a secondary rock market, because you can't get on the classic rock market. It's basically impossible. So that's the market you go in.
Explore, wander and dream. Explore, wander and dream. In the end, I'm not sure what it means. 40 years gone on by, just like they say. So much harder than it seems, trying to live out your dreams, yeah, trying to live out your dreams. wandering dream.
It's been there 5 weeks now, and it's just steadily climbing. And then I have a song in the top 40 right now called "Been Forgotten" that's holding strong at 87. So we hope to both of them to get up to like the top 30, at least get to the top 50. But we're definitely making progress.
That's awesome. And, you know, in the world now of like, you know, obviously streaming and satellite radio,
Yeah.
how important is it for a song to like be on the radio and actually chart?
Everybody debates about that, so here's what I think. Number one, I'm not a big fan of Spotify. I just feel like you have to get like a zillion hits to get like $2. It just
Right.
doesn't seem cool at all to
Yeah.
me. But I have stuff on Spotify if people want to check it out. But I've just always had the dream to have something on radio. So I really decided that these songs were on the level of recording that I felt they were worthy of airplay. So I've just pursued it because it's just been a dream of mine. So whether it's relevant or not, who knows? Who knows? But I'm digging it. I'm so psyched my songs are charting right now.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. And I'm like old school. Like, I mean, I like Spotify, you know, it's the convenience of it. You can get anything you want. I mean, I pay for it, so at least
Right.
like I feel like the artists get some, even though they don't really get much, but I love physical copies of, you know, vinyls and
Yeah,
CDs, you know,
we're old school, right? We like
absolutely.
records. And the people of our generation, we like stuff that's tangible. That's why people come to conventions and get stuff signed because they want something. They want to walk away with something to remember it by. So yeah, I have a big record collection and stuff like that. Yeah, to me, I even have tapes. I was a bunch of cassette tapes right over
Okay.
here.
Yeah, I mean, I have them too, and they're the worst. And I hope they never make a revival like, you know, vinyl does now.
They
But
are actually making a
oh
comeback
God,
too,
it's
because they're inexpensive compared to buying a record. So
oh my,
they're
yeah,
making
and
a comeback.
it's so expensive now to buy records. I mean, I know they're making a comeback, but
They're making
is it
them too.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's just because like there aren't that many like pressing companies to make them. Is that the
correct.
reason why now? Yeah,
Plus, it's not like back in the day with the labels. They're making them by the
that's
thousands.
true.
You're
Yeah,
like, you make 100, you gotta work your butt off just to get rid of them.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, is any of your work on vinyl yet?
No. Well, I had for my birthday, my girlfriend, had the songs that I put on my last record, Safe Haven, which is out in CD and digital,
Right.
and the last songs I did with my band Ripple Street before my bass player passed, and put that all on a record. So I have something for myself on vinyl, but otherwise, no. That's a goal though. I'd like to get to the point of doing. If I feel like I'm out on the road enough that I can justify it, I'm going to do
Yeah.
it.
Right. And have you like I know like you're situated in Savannah, Georgia. Have you like branched out like touring like outside of Georgia and stuff?
It's really starting to open up now. It's been a slow process. I'm gonna jump back. So basically, like everybody else in the pandemic in 2020, started looking at my life, right, and I had
Right.
some time on my hands. And I'm like, well, what's the unfinished business? I said, well, you've been writing since you're 15. It's really time to put your music out there. So I
Mm.
really started making strides from that point on, and now I'm at the point where putting these singles out. I'm gonna put out a full LP in August.
Oh, great.
I put out two. I put out a thing called Acoustic Gains, and
Yep.
then I put out Safe Haven. So those are two EPs, and then now into a full record. So and everything's just steadily getting better, the quality moving forward. And now we're at the point where we're starting to hit the road a bit. Got a couple of really interesting gigs coming up in September, opening for Lita Ford in Ohio.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That kind of blew my mind.
That's
And
awesome.
yeah, this biker rally thing. We just did another one in Georgia. That was really fun. And then in October we're doing. You've heard of like booze cruises. This is
Yeah,
in
yeah.
October. Boos.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
Booze cruise. The band will be playing at, and I'll do some
Yeah.
signing stuff. So and that's going from Tampa Bay to somewhere in Mexico. So
Oh,
that's gonna be a
nice.
5 day cruise. So I've never been on a cruise actually. So that's kind of
Yeah, me
crazy.
neither. Yeah, that's really cool.
It
Yeah, you got
sounds fun, and we're
yeah.
starting to get more festivals now. And we're planning one in Alabama soon, and one in Virginia. So I always tell people, get on my IG or get on my Facebook Courtney Gains group, and you'll find out what's going on.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, you got to try to make it up to the Northeast. That'd be awesome.
Hey, there, somebody if they can somebody can put a tour to get us up there and back. That's all. That's all it takes.
Yeah. Have you like performed ever like you know at the horror conventions or any of the conventions that you've been to?
So I've wanted to, right, a lot, but it was a little bit of a bone of contention with my manager and I, where he didn't feel like that's what they wanted. But I kind of proved my point a couple months ago. The biggest convention probably out there, one of the biggest one is Spooky Empire
Right.
Petey. So he started. He in Florida, it's massive. I'm still trying to go play on that one because I know they have like bands all weekend.
Right.
We keep talking about it, but he did one in Charleston a couple years ago that I did for the Children of the Corn 40th, and I started talking to him and I said, hey, well, next time you guys come through, maybe I can do your party. They decided not to have a VIP party this last one. It was only 2 days, but a place that I was playing for regularly in Bluffton, South Carolina, which isn't that far, they had a sister place, and so I set it up with them. So it gave the fans some place to go after the
Yeah.
show, and we packed it out, and we had a great time.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah. Have you noticed like is it hard to like overcome like the actor being the musician as opposed to say like, because like musicians transition into your world all the time,
correct.
and it's like, successful, but like the opposite, you have like Don Johnson. Well, I know you did,
Right.
a Nash Bridges with, or like,
Yeah,
Eddie Murphy or
I,
whatever, but
I
then you
know what
have
you're
like you are really good and some of the others,
right.
Kevin Bacon, Keanu Reeves and stuff like that.
Right, I know what you're saying. So
Yeah.
yes, it's a resistance on a couple levels, right? Because the loudest fan base for me obviously is the horror fan base,
Right.
and all they really, for the most part, they just want to know about horror,
Yeah.
right? But they'll give it a chance, like so when we go to like a gig like that, there's a look on their face like, okay, is this going to be like a Corey Feldman train wreck,
Yeah.
which would be really fun, or
Right.
or can this guy actually play? And then
Yeah.
a song or two in, they're like, all right, this is going to be a good experience. Let's
Yeah.
have a good time. But still, they're interested in the box they're interested in. And then the flip side, you have musicians who, what I've learned, and I don't know any other way to say this, but musicians are snobs, and they're more interested in your musicianship than say like what I put my premium on, which is songwriting ability.
Okay.
In my opinion, you don't have to be a great musician to be a great songwriter.
True.
And I can prove that over and over again by facts like, okay, let's say AC/DC. Everybody talks about Angus, who's an incredible shredding guitar player, but
Right.
in fact, it's his brother who wrote all the songs, who's the
Right.
rhythm guitar player.
Yeah.
And that's pretty common, actually. Not that there's not a beautiful skill to noodling like those
Mhm.
guys can do, but without a structured song, there's no noodle.
Yeah.
So like I said, I've always hung my hat on songwriting. Not that I'm a shredder by any imagination,
Yeah.
but a lot of guys who are really really great musicians are not necessarily good songwriters. But they tend to still be really snobby about it, and they're already going to be like, "Oh, you're not a musician, you're an actor." So you
Mhm.
already have that bit of a barrier you got to get through. But the bottom line is, I don't give a rat's. So I'm going to do what I want to do. Get out of my way.
Right. No, absolutely.
And
Yeah.
as long as the fans dig it, as long as the audience is digging it, that's all that really matters. Not whether they think I'm great or not. Because, like I said, that's their agenda. It really comes down to is the audience having a good time, and I think that's what I'm able to put across. I'm able to write a good song. So,
Yeah, absolutely. And
but yes,
you
resistance.
definitely can because, your music's great. So,
Oh, thanks, man.
yeah. And speaking of like great musicians, like Slash. So how did you get Slash to perform on Journeyman?
Oh yeah, okay. So that's a story. That's a story I actually tell in my set all the time.
Okay.
So in the '90s, to put out a song called "Journeyman" that was on a compilation record on a friend of mine's label, Future Farmer up in Northern California, and it ended up getting really good college radio play, surprisingly. So what happened was my girlfriend and Matt Sorum, the drummer from Guns'
Right.
girlfriend, was best friends.
Okay.
And so when I met Matt, my girlfriend egged me on to play the song, and I was like, and she's like, play it for him.
Yeah.
And I played it for him, and he had a home studio, and he was like, hey, I really like the song. You want to record it? I'm like, yeah, sure, of course, Matt, yes. And
Right.
we did it, and put a band together for it, and it came out really great, but it needed like a really good blues lead over the top of it. I didn't have the answer for that. He sort of understood the same thing. I get a call from him, and he's like, hey man, Slash is up here. He's gonna play your song. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? He's like, come on up. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh my God. So I always heard that he likes to have a bottle of Jack Daniels when he plays.
Okay.
And he likes a cigarette, puts it on the guitar, takes a shot of Jack and plays. Like that's his. So I
Yeah.
literally bought the biggest bottle of Jack I could find. And I
Right.
was like, thanks for being here, man. And it was a really amazing and surreal experience because when someone's really, really good at what they do, like he is, it looks like nothing's happening. And it looks
Yeah.
smooth and easy, but the guitar is just screaming, right?
Right.
And we had a really good engineer that just came off a Stones album, and the two of them worked for like a few hours, like really, like he played it, and then they would punch in, cleaning up all the things. But if you screw up a punch in, then you lost it, right? These guys were genius. It was genius
Yeah.
watching these guys work. And then when he left, Matt Storm turned to me and said, if he didn't like the song, he'd have done one pass and left.
Oh wow.
And I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. and I've seen videos, things since where people said that he did that.
Okay.
And so it's really, really, that much more of a mind blower that he thought enough of the song to actually take the time to do it right. And it really took the song over the top for sure.
To get these words down, 'cause I wanna look and listen to you. Show me the way, and if you knew, wouldn't have to show us all your blissful pain. Journeyman, blissful pain. Oh, journeyman, blissful pain. Journeyman, blissful pain.
How much of the bottle was a drink?
I don't remember, but I think he took the whole big bottle with it when it was all over. But I just know, like I said, I got literally it was like ridiculously large.
Right. Yeah, no, that's great.
He already had a little one. He already brought because he always has one.
Yeah.
And I guess, when someone's a legend, when he had a tech guy bring the stuff upstairs he had a signature series Marshall half stack and a signature series Les Paul. I
Wow.
guess you've made it with the two of the greatest brands in rock history. You have your own
Right.
signature series,
Yeah.
Right?
That's
I
awesome.
mean, he's just a ridiculously good player. I mean, just ridiculous. But again, not a songwriter. He didn't write any of the stuff for Guns.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
there you go. But
Yeah.
what a brilliant noodler though. I
Yeah.
mean, unbelievable.
Yeah. When did you first start writing songs?
15,
Okay.
15 years old. Yeah. As soon as I started learning to play guitar, learned 3 chords, I started
Yeah.
writing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like it. That's really the moment of creation of writing a song is a real buzz for me, a real real high. And then also it's an avenue for me to vent. I can vent in acting, but you won't know what it is I'm venting about, right? I mean, maybe they say the character's venting about something, but I'll be using something personal or whatever, but you
Right.
won't know. But when I write a song,
Yeah.
it's my thoughts, my ideas, my feelings, direct. So it's given me an outlet my whole life, which is good. Helps that kind of. I wish everybody could do that because I think it helps people from going postal. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely. That's why a lot of people, like journal or like writing diaries and stuff
Yes,
like
which
get
I
your
also do.
feelings. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get that junk out, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Meditation, writing,
Yeah.
journaling. It's always to just go for walks in nature. All that stuff is just to get the crap out every day because otherwise it just gets on you and
Yeah.
sticks.
Exactly. And festers, and you don't want that.
Nope,
Yeah.
nope.
Yeah. So for you, what's the best emotion for you to write a song? Like where does it come
Oh,
from?
most of my songs are sad. Most of my songs are about breakups,
Right. Yeah.
stuff like that. I don't think in terms of like trying to like write a hit or things like
Yeah.
that or styles. I think of just like as an actor, I think about capturing the mood. So whatever mood either I'm already in or that I want to capture, it's like either it starts with a lyric or it starts with just playing guitar and something happens, or playing
Yeah.
bass and something happens, and then whatever the subconscious things are on my mind start to
Yeah.
come through, and before you know it, you're off and running. But it's yeah, my stuff's not. I'm not a real like upbeat writer as a
Yeah.
rule. Even the song that I have right now in the top 40, which is like crazy that I'm even have a song in the top 40 because I'm just
Yeah.
a rocker in my mind.
Right.
Oh, I've been forgotten, and my tears they keep a falling like rain. Oh, I've been forgotten once again. Nobody else played. Oh, she had to go. Why didn't I know? Oh,
but the song is like upbeat, but really it's about a breakup.
Yeah.
It's called Been Forgotten, but it sounds like like this,
Yeah.
but if you listen, it's not good.
Yeah, it's true. Like, a lot of upbeat songs, yeah, they're just like the most down, beats, people just like are like
But most
heartbroken and
top
stuff like
40 is super positive, but like
that.
I'm just not, even as an actor, I'm just not that guy. A lot of people always, when they see
Yeah.
me do something like a Sweet Home Alabama, they're like, "Oh, you're so great! You're
Yeah.
smiling at that. You're happy for a change." I'm like, "Yeah, I can do it, but
Yeah.
I can also bring the heat."
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. But like I wanted to one role that you kind of brought both together and absolutely love this movie is Benny Bliss.
Oh, you've seen Benny
I
Bliss?
love it. I
I'm
absolutely
impressed.
yeah, and it's great. And it was about what 15, 16 years ago it came out already, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
like the whole premise, yeah, I don't want to spoil it for anybody, go see it.
No,
It's
please tell
great.
people.
But I mean he, is has issues, I guess, a mental patient, and he gets shock therapy, and because he's addicted to devices, and he has an
Mhm.
epiphany, to get the rid of the devices throughout the world. He becomes a singer, and it's brilliant. And now people even more addicted to
Oh,
devices
what's
than
crazy is
now than previously before.
it's only more, yeah, that we were doing, we shot off with flip phones were the thing
Yeah,
then.
right,
Now
exactly.
smartphones, it's only got 1,000 times worse. But
Yeah,
yeah, I've always been a little anti-technology, and I've always questioned everything. Like the first, even when Facebook started, what was it, a spot of
with
MySpace?
Napster and MySpace and all
MySpace.
that.
I
Yeah,
was all like, what are they getting out of this? Why are we getting this for free? And it
yeah,
took obviously a long time for everybody to figure out it was they were getting all our information.
yeah.
That's what they were mining. But I was immediately skeptical, from the beginning. So I've always been anti-technology. And this guy that I was in this entertainment basketball league run by the NBA, called the NBAE, which was a pretty hilarious thing because it was
Right.
a very competitive bunch of actors
Yeah.
and agents and like a bunch of alpha people out on the court. Yeah, it was pretty funny. Um, but this guy I met, his name's Martin Gigi. He's a writer, director, but he's also a very accomplished musician. He plays keyboards for Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top
Okay. Yeah.
when Billy's not playing a ZZ Top. So if you're playing for Billy Gibbons, if you're
You're
his
pretty
band
good.
leader, you're a
Yeah.
bad dude, right?
Right. Yeah.
So he came and did some recordings with me, and I was just blown away by how good he was. And then we sort of jokingly started germinating this idea of this Benny Bliss character. And then we did a short, and I put on that outfit, that sort of
Yeah.
Elvis looking outfit, and
Yeah.
he literally fell on the floor for like 10 minutes.
Right.
He's like, we're gonna make this movie, dude, and we put it together and we did it. He's the one who plays keyboards in it. The yellow finger, I guess, is
Okay. Yeah.
that's Martin, and
Okay.
the whole thing was, I would say, probably 80% improv. It was a sketched out storyline,
Yeah.
but it was improv, and then the whole big moment of truth was playing that gig at the end,
Yeah.
which was, we had rehearsed a bunch of the numbers, but never in order. And these guys, 'cause they're all really good musicians, they were comfortable. I was the one who had to like go out there and carry this whole thing, and
Right.
it was probably the most without a net as an actor I've ever been in a movie.
Hmm.
And we had two chances to run the whole set with the 100 extras we got to come out there, and they couldn't
Yeah.
believe me. I was like, "This is the first time we've ever done this set." They're like, "What? You got to be! This was the most fun we've ever had as extras. This is
Right.
awesome!" And it was an amazing experience. And some the guy that played bass, he went on. He's a bass player for Bush now.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, and so like you just never know who's gonna. We
Yeah.
all thought he was very good, but he's gone on to do very well for himself, and you just never know who's gonna end up where. But it was an amazing experience, and it's a real fun ride. I caught a bit of a stoner movie,
Yeah.
there. Yeah, if you smoke, I'd say smoke when to watch that film. You'll have a good
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's hard to find, so I was impressed you actually know the movie.
Oh yeah. I think it was on, was it Tubi or Amazon Prime? Oh, one of the sites. I can't
I'm gonna
remember
have to
which
look it up
one.
and see where it's at now because people are always asking where they can find it because it's not the easiest find.
Yeah. Yeah. It's on one of those sites. Just search,
Cool,
Benny Bliss
cool.
streaming, and it
Good to know,
comes
good to
up.
know
Yeah.
it's out there.
Yeah, the church scene is great when you just come up
Oh,
there, and
God.
you
Yeah,
musicians kind of sneak around the aisle to get on stage, and you sneak off with the money. It's brilliant.
yeah, that scene's really great. And when I saw, they didn't know exactly what I had planned for my speech and everything, but
Yeah,
I was really happy with the way that came out. And I think it's true, right? It's like, a lot of people's best friend is their computer's even getting worse now. It's their AI girlfriend or
Yeah.
whatever. It's out of control, man.
It's scary. Would you bring back the character?
I
Because
would.
now
I would.
it's even worse.
We had talked about doing a trilogy, but it
Yeah,
would be up to Martin to pull it together. You know, he's the glue behind it. So if he wanted to do it, I'd do it
yeah,
for sure.
right,
Yeah.
yeah. And just a running joke was with the bike every couple
Oh,
minutes. Oh yeah, you
and
think about the bike?
there was two things I asked for. There was
Yeah,
two things I asked for. One was a short bus for us to travel on and a
yeah,
mini bike to ride. They're like,
yeah.
why? But that Elvis, the Evil Knievel outfit on, it's going to be
Exactly.
hysterical.
Yeah, just
The guy that wanted to ask about the bike, he was he was a really good musician and helped Weezer make their first record. He
okay.
passed away maybe 10 years ago.
Oh wow, okay.
He'd done a lot as a musician and as a producer. I mean,
Right.
he helped put the whole movie together. He did all the edit and the sound design and all that.
Okay.
If you look at the last performance, you'll notice there's
Yeah,
two mics. And the
yeah,
reason
yeah.
one's for
Stereo.
the PA, the other one, well, here's what he says, but the
Yeah,
reason was one was for the PA sound, and the
okay.
other one was to go to get
Record.
directly to a recording. So that's why
Yeah,
we had to do it that way. But we decided we better make a joke about it
yeah.
because
That's
people are why
clever.
they got two mics.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So how much was that crowdfunded or was that just all financed?
It was pre-crowdfunding.
Okay.
So Martin, like I said, if you look at Martin Gigi, he's gone on to
Yeah.
direct maybe like 8, 9 movies. He's
Mm.
very good at raising money. Again, big basketball fan. He made a movie about Sweetwater Clifton, the first black player in the NBA. That was
Okay.
his dream project. He put that out a couple of years ago. That one was like the whole time he's trying to get that to him like 8 years, and he got it
Hmm.
made. But because he played basketball in college, and that's what we bonded first was over
Yeah.
basketball. But what what was the question again?
Oh, just about like financing the movie and stuff
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
thank you.
Yeah.
So he had this investor, right? And I forget why we were in why they were in Vegas, but they were, and they rented a big place to have a party up top in the penthouse, and I brought the Benny shades, the Elvis looking
Yeah,
shades,
yeah.
and he because Martin was like, you got to close this, dude, and I was like, all right. So we were sitting there having a few drinks, whatever, and I just started going into Benny, and I put on the shades, and I gave him the whole spiel about the technology thing.
Yeah.
And he went to Martin. He said, "I'm in, man. I'm in." So like
Yeah.
that was how we
Yeah.
got to go. Won a lot of money, but it was
Right.
enough to get the
Uh,
film.
yeah, no, that's great. Yeah. Who was the best actor in the basketball league?
Ooh, I'm trying to think of the kid's name. I'm bad with names. He was in Coach Carter. He was in another. He was like 2 or 3 basketball movies. Skinny black guy, looks
Mhm.
young. He played at Michigan.
Okay.
So when he come, I mean, he didn't look like he was a big dude. He was like
Yeah.
maybe 5'10", 5. He just got to kill everybody.
Yeah.
He was MVP of the league like every year. But he
Yeah.
played at Michigan. I mean, he played
Of course.
D1
Yeah.
basketball. He was the real deal. So
Yeah.
most of the movies he was in were all basketball.
Basketball movies. Right. That's cool. Yeah. I just watched The Wrath of Becky.
Ah, nice.
Love that. And I'm excited to know the third one's coming out real soon. I know you're not going to be in it, spoiler alert.
Correct.
But
Spoiler
yeah.
alert, I
Yeah.
didn't make it.
Yeah, I didn't think so after what happened to you. But yeah, that movie was hysterical. It was really good. You play a
Yeah.
neo-Nazi who can cook and play the banjo.
There you go. What do you want, man?
Yeah.
Come
Yeah.
on. But I knew again that was during the pandemic and saw everything that was dividing during the time. I remember I wrote a song with my band Ripple Street called "The Great Divide," just talking about all that.
Right.
And we put it out. I was going to put it out at a certain point, but I put it out the day of the riot because I couldn't. It was just perfect timing.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
literally took footage off the TV, slapped it in the edit, and threw it out there.
Right.
But so so well, I want to keep losing my space, my fucking space. I'm getting old, brother. So during that, I knew that those roles were coming. I knew
Right.
that, particularly because Hollywood is left. They're gonna talk about the right in a certain way.
Yeah.
I knew those are the kind of roles I could get. Right? I mean, just look at me. I play a lot of Midwesterners and Southerners.
Right.
So I'm gonna grow the beard, and the role will come.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what I did, and the role came, and it
Yeah.
turned out to be a really good film. I thought Rather Becky came out really well.
Yeah. No,
Very, very happy with it.
yeah, Lulu Wilson, she's she started Becky and
Oh
she
yeah,
was
no,
tremendous.
she's really cool.
Yeah.
Really laid back and mature for her age, and loves to do the work. And we had a good time working together. But just you get a script and you think, okay, this has got potential, but it has to still get executed from a directorial point of
Right.
view. And they pulled it off. They storyboarded it out, and they really nailed it. So yeah, they're doing the third, and I'm sure it's going to be really good. And the whole thing is they keep using comedians as the bad guys. Seems
Yeah.
to be the shtick, and it's working. It's
Yeah.
working.
I mean, it
Yeah.
was like the first one was Kevin James, right?
Correct.
And
And now
then, yeah,
he's doing more dramas. He seems like he's trying to do more and more dramas.
right. Exactly.
Gave him a chance to show what else he could do, which is great.
Yeah. And then you get Stifler from American Pie showing him Scott, and he plays a,
Yeah.
little baddie. And then the third one, Neil Patrick Harris is going to be the
Yeah.
bad guy.
I don't know what to expect.
That should be interesting.
But yeah, you'll want to watch. That's the thing. You'll be like, okay, let's see what he does with this because you've never seen him in that light before either. So
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. How fun was your spoiler alert, death scene?
oh, great. I mean, it was a lot of work, but great.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was day one though, which is kind of crazy to do. Like day one to throw. Usually you kind of ease an actor in, you make their first day easy. Get on the
Yeah.
set, and they just threw me right into the lion's den day one, man.
Yeah.
But really, it was the special effects guy. Again, can't think of his name right now. This guy is a very, very established special effects guy. He's award winning. This was not a big, huge budget movie by any
Yeah.
stretch. But the day one, we're the first thing out of his mouth. He has a VHS of colors. He says, "Can you sign this?" And I'm like, "Oh, we'll get to it, man. Like, relax." I didn't.
Yeah.
Then I started to realize who he was and how established. I could just find the work he was doing, how good he was. He only did that movie because of me.
Oh, wow.
Did that
Okay.
movie to meet me and have me sign his
That's amazing.
VHS. And thank God, man, because
Yeah.
without him, especially the arrow and all of
Yeah.
that would have been a travesty. And
Yeah.
but it was literally, he's like, dude, I'm only here because of you. He goes, I was like,
Yeah.
thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Matter of fact, I think that first day they didn't even want to pay some of the arrow thing. They didn't want. They wanted to use something. He's like, man, I just came in for free just to work with you.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's nice when I've got what I call, like, I don't have, like, like critics cred. Like, I know no one's ever written how great I am or much,
Right.
but I have street cred. The
Yeah.
people know, and the crew guy, the crew dogs, they know.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, the lighting guys quit the day after I was done.
Wow.
I was waiting. I was waiting for. I was waiting for my ride to get back to New York, and they come walking out. I'm like, "What are you guys doing?" "Ah, man, we're just waiting till you. We were gonna leave this thing. We just waited till you were done. Though we didn't want to mess you up."
Wow.
I'm just like, man, that's cool. That they because they did they lost a couple lighting crews, and they weren't the best. They weren't the best.
Right.
In that regard. They were kind of exploiting people a little bit, but I was thankful that they stayed to make me look good at
Yeah.
least.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Because with the street cred, I mean, get you more roles rather than the critics, cred.
Yeah, critics can get you roles too because
Yeah.
are like hype and butts and seats. There's all kinds of reasons producers hire you, but producers, that's one thing, or directors, that's another thing. But I'm like a blue collar actor, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
I get along with the blue collar guys, the crew, the guys who put in the long hours, who do it mostly because they love it, because they
Yeah.
want to be part of this business. Those are the guys that mean the most to me, because they're the guys that I know that perhaps I inspired to get into the business,
Yeah.
and that's what means the most to me, for real, because
Right.
it's not about the hype, it's about the real. Like I said, I got street cred. I know that,
Yeah.
I know I got street cred.
Yeah. And then you had a brief role. I'm sure you got some cred for this one. Thy Will Be Done.
Oh, that will be done. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was, I have to say, was a big surprise. Like I was only there for a few days. It looked like it was going all right, but I thought that ended up being a better film than I thought it was going to
It
be.
was really good.
Yeah, and it's got Jazz has done an excellent job of hyping it and getting it out there and getting reviews, and it's done much better than I gave him credit for. I mean, I do a lot of low budget films. He does a
Yeah.
lot
Yeah.
of them nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So when anything goes somewhere, it's always a nice surprise. He's done an outstanding job directing it, acting in it, and getting it out there. It's doing really well.
Yeah. So when you do like these kind of like cameos,
Cameo,
you might
yeah,
work on like a couple of days, and
yeah,
then the movie, you kind of forget about it. Do you actually
yeah.
go back and actually watch the movie?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Well, especially this one because he was like, he was definitely keeping in touch and saying, "Hey,
Yeah.
this came out good. You got you got to see it, blah blah blah, and then start getting reviews. And so
Yeah.
absolutely, but sometimes a lot of times, like I said, with independent films, it'll take them a long time to finish it. But the big difficulty in the movie business is it's hard enough to raise money to make a movie. It's even harder to get distribution.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
And it all comes down to that. It all comes down to the level of distribution. I've produced movies as well, and the level of distribution has a major bearing on how well it gets out there, how many people
Mm,
see it and respond to it. So, but it's hard. It's a very competitive,
mm,
and a lot of the companies have very narrow windows of what they're looking for because they know that's what they can sell, and like that's why there's not a lot of good dramas independently out there because nobody wants a drama.
right.
Nobody. They want a horror movie or they want a sci-fi thing or they want
Yeah.
something they can sell, supernatural, something they can
Right.
sell.
Yeah.
So the drama is not you
Yeah.
good luck making an independent drama and selling it. Good
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah. But you have like a real devoted fan base with horror and sci-fi.
Sure,
So
sure.
you can make those movies and people will come watch them.
Sure. And what kind of happened again in a couple of years ago was the 40th anniversary of Corn, so it was
Right.
like on the radar too. And I was doing a ton of conventions, the
Yeah.
most I've ever done in a year. But that's when all these offers came in too. So I just took them and ran. So I did a lot of horror cameos and things, and a few leads as well. But that was a run, and now I'm kind of at the end of that. Kind of now I'm going to be a little choosier about what I'm picking as far as horror goes, as far as the genre. I'm like, especially with
Yeah.
Barn 3 coming out and being the lead in that, I kind of
Yeah.
established that thing again.
Right.
So I'm gonna be a little more cheesy on my horror genre right now.
Yeah.
But it was a good run. It was a good run. It was the right time to do it. It was
Right.
my horror career was fresh in everyone's mind. So it
Yeah.
was like, let's run with it.
Right. And you got the song Fear the Boogie coming out from Barn Part 3.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
When we made Barn 3, I talked to the director about, hey, I do music. Would you be willing to listen to something? He's like, yeah, sure. And the guy that I was working with, Wall, who was in my band for about a year, and he's helping me produce. He's producing the record with me that's coming out
Right.
Liberation Day, and he has 5 songs on it. He wrote, and one of them, Fear the Boogie. He wrote the music, and I wrote the lyrics and did the vocal.
Yeah.
It again was just a subconscious, just a metal song with a
Mm.
riff, and the subconscious Fear the Boogie came out because there's a character in the movie that's the Boogeyman. He's one of the prime.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, the director plays that role,
Okay.
and I think that was where the subconscious just came about Fear the Boogie and ran with it.
Inside
We got there's a video out now if you want to watch it on YouTube for the Boogie, and it came out good, and the song's really strong, and it's going to be in the ending credits. I think it's gonna be in the movie twice, but it's gonna be the ending credits to me, which is like the prime spot to be. So I
Right.
can't wait to see it how it works in the film.
Yeah, and it comes out I think the end of May, I believe, right?
Oh, we're having a premiere in Pittsburgh in May. As far as actual distribution date yet, we
Right.
don't know.
Okay.
I think he's doing the festivals right now. He's had a lot of success with festivals in the past. Uh, the highlight of the Children of the Corn convention thing was to end it with Styges Film Festival in Spain in Barcelona. It's
Okay.
biggest sci-fi horror film festival in Europe.
Hmm.
My manager been trying to get me there for like literally a decade. It was like he was like, "Look, man, this is it. Like this is the
Yeah.
40th anniversary. It's now or never." They did it, and that was really a great experience. That was where the other part of Fear the Boogie came from. When we were doing the screening, the guy that was hosting it came out. He goes, "Hey man, I just got to tell you, when I was a kid, like this
Yeah.
was the movie in Spain. In
Right.
Barcelona, it scared the crap out of us." He goes, "We had a VHS, we'd all pass it to the next guy." And he said, "You were known as the Boogeyman of Barcelona."
Wow, that's a great nickname.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But it was so between the Boogeyman of the character and the Boogeyman of Barcelona, that's where the
Right. Yeah.
Fear of the Boogie idea came out.
Yeah. And it's like great because like with Children of the Corn, being a horror movie, you didn't do much horror right after that. I mean, like the Burbs, I don't really consider
I,
that horror, but
I,
it's like you
I
kind
made it
of
a point. I made it a point. It
yeah.
wasn't a mistake because I was so overwhelmed by the response out in the world.
Yeah.
It was my first movie out in the world,
Right. Yeah.
and it wasn't just that I was getting recognized, but I was getting recognized in a pretty radical way
Yeah.
to the point like a kid would see you and go crying to their mother and things. I mean, it was
Yeah.
like whoa,
Right.
right? So I realized that this character had an immediate impact, and that I
Mm.
was going to be known for. I didn't know it was going to be as because horror was B movies then.
Right.
But
Back
I
then. Yeah.
realized that I couldn't do that performance again. Like, don't do that right away. And so I made a really conscious choice in my '80s run to not play the same character twice, and that ended up serving me really well because I ended up having like a hit in every genre
Yeah.
basically, and I think that helped me really well into making a transition into it as an adult actor because
Right.
I had a body of work as a character actor where I could showed I could do comedies, I could do
Absolutely.
dramas, I could do
Yeah.
horror, and I think that really helped me in the long run in my career because that
Mm.
transition people don't a lot of people take that transition for granted, but it's not an easy transition to go from a teen actor to an adult.
Yeah. So a lot of people fail.
A lot of people fall on the wayside because they stop working on the craft and
Yeah.
they're relying on their cutesy what they did as a kid. It's not going to get it, man. Because now you're going up against guys who just came out of Juilliard and Dartmouth, and
Right.
they've been working on their craft for the last
Yeah.
4 years while you've been working. So you got to keep working on your game.
Yeah. I just remember how freaking scary John Franklin was. And then when
Oh,
you bring
creepy as hell.
scary motherfucker, he was so good in that movie.
Yeah, great performance. Great
Yeah.
performance. Still to this day, when we watch it, we're just like, wow, great performance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he had a writing Children of the Corn 6-6 and being in it,
Right.
but I feel like he's essentially retired at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like nobody really took the time to figure out what to do with that guy and give him more opportunities in that regard because he can kill in that arena.
Yeah.
So I was surprised he
Absolutely.
didn't get more. I feel like I've gotten more horror offers than he has. And
Yeah.
I don't know why, because he could
Right.
play that guy all day long,
Absolutely.
or not even just that guy, but other
Yeah.
scary, in a creepy kind of way
Yeah.
characters.
Right.
I don't know. I don't really understand why he didn't get more. I really
Yeah.
don't.
I don't know.
He certainly does very well in the conventions with me. We did conventions together for
Right.
years, and he certainly does well. So I don't understand why more people. A lot of times it's in these conventions where you'll get some of these low budget offers and things too. Or
That's
yeah,
true.
I just don't think they can figure out what the hell to do with them. It's
Yeah.
easy for me, like menacing dude or whatever.
Exactly.
They just need to maybe think a little harder what to do with him. But I think
Yeah.
he should have more work.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I had, John Philbin on a few months ago, and he, is a straight shooter, and, he didn't hold back with his thoughts on Peter Horton,
Oh
who's in the
yes.
movie. So what was working with him like?
Well, what did he say about Peter Horton? Just the basic. What did he say?
He basically called him just an asshole and just, he just didn't really hated working with him and stuff like that.
So yeah, so I'm not a big Peter Horton fan and either, and it's not. I'm going to tell a little story, and this to me will sum it up. And this wasn't even on the set. Okay, so years later, he's gone on to be a pretty established TV producer,
Right.
and Grey's Anatomy. He was producing that early on. So I came in to audition for a guest star. He back then people still were using pictures. I guess they had my picture of my resume. He
Right.
turns it over, looks at my resume, and goes, "Oh, you still have it on there. Good for you."
Oh,
That's what he
gee.
said.
What an asshole.
What an asshole, right? That's
Yeah.
exactly. Now I have to act for you after you said some shit like that to me.
Wow. Okay.
And I certainly didn't get the job. I mean, it's kind of what it kind of said right there. It was like you're not
Yeah.
getting this gig, you know. Now, as far as if you ask different people on the set, different people's experience, there are people who I'm sure don't have good things to say about me in terms of. I was like Fritz Kirsch, the director, who I'm good friends with and love dearly, and he did
Right.
our 40th Corn anniversary with us, which was so great because he taught up in Oklahoma for years as a professor, and didn't realize the impact of corn out in the real world.
Yeah.
Like, you have to come and see this, and it just blew his mind. But he specifically told Peter Horton not to be nice to me, like not to be nice to the kids, and he
Okay.
specifically told me not to be nice to the little kids
Okay.
to create tension.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in that defense, I can say maybe Peter wasn't being nice because he perhaps was told not to be nice. But I can tell you what he did to me at that audition.
Yeah.
That was all him.
Right. So it wasn't really a hard, role for him to adopt being an asshole then.
Most of his characters are a little smarmy like that anyway. But
Yeah.
he's had a great career. But yeah, for him as an actor to do that to me in an audition was like that was like a really cheap shot that he didn't need to go to. You know?
Yeah. All we had to say was, "Hey, good to see you again," and then move on. That's it.
Exactly. Hey,
Yeah.
make you feel welcome, right? All an
Right.
actor wants to fill an audition or when you get a job on a set is to feel welcome, so that you'll do your best. That's. Well, yeah, he'd have to be the smart
Yeah.
ass like that.
Right. And what an asshole. Yeah. And
And
Fritz.
I know we don't talk
Yeah.
bad about people, but he deserves one. So he deserves the truth on that one. So
Yeah. I mean, if you're an asshole, get called out about it. It's.
I don't think he gives a. I don't think he gives.
He's probably never going to hear this anyway. But
No, I just
still.
don't think he cares. He
Yeah.
just he just is who he is.
Yeah. Absolutely. And didn't Fritz direct Winners Take All too?
I can't believe you're bringing up Winners Take All. You're doing good here. You're
Oh,
doing.
thank you. Yeah, that movie. I mean, hey, it's a classic. It's almost next year, 40th anniversary of it too, which is kind of
My
crazy.
God, I'm impressed. So yes, Fritz directed it,
Yeah.
and my acting mentor plays the mechanic guy. Virgil Fry is his name. He passed away a few years ago.
Okay.
He's like my mentor. That's how I got in the business. Studied with him for a decade. Got me my
Right.
agents. Let me get my managers. Without him, I'd have nothing. So it was great to actually be in a movie with him. But yeah, Fritz got fired about a week or two into the end of the movie.
Oh wow, why?
That's a producer question. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know why they decided to let him go. I know I wasn't happy about it.
Yeah.
And at the end, literally, the stunt coordinator was directing the movie. And the last scene where they said, "Hey, we're going to have you guys crash into a thing where there's a bull," and there's a stupid and terrible idea.
Right.
So Peter DeLuise and I agreed to then throw in the line, "This is bull."
Yeah.
That's us. That's us.
Yeah.
Which is, normally I don't do things like that, but I thought it was so out of pocket at that point.
Yeah.
I thought it was necessary
Right.
for us to make comment
Yeah.
on that experience. But yeah, I took it. I definitely was not happy for Scott Farr. I thought he did a great job, and like I said, I really like working with him. I'd work with him again anytime, any place. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, 40th anniversary is coming up, and there is an observation. So there's a guy in Scotland, Alex is his name, who is the guy that's the fan of fans of that movie.
Right.
I had no idea anybody even watched that movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
But turns out that in the motorcycle dirt bike community, it's like a real thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of these guys say that was their first, when they were kids, that was their first experience with it. And that's what drew them into it, including this guy who still races. But he started making all the costumes and the helmets and like these look like real, like incredibly done. Like turns out he ended up becoming a fabricator and working in movies like Fast and the Furious.
Oh wow. Okay.
All these things in the UK. but it all started with this movie.
Yeah.
So I saw him in England during the Children of the Corn run, signed a bunch of stuff, and he just came to Savannah last week because he went to go see the guy who plays the manager in the motorcycle movie, who's like getting old, in
Okay.
Jacksonville. So he decided, well, if I'm going to come out there, I might as well see you too. Signed some more stuff with him,
Yeah.
hung out, showed him Savannah. Real good guy, and the champion of the movie. And I hooked him up with
Yeah.
Fritz, and Fritz had storyboards and all these things he had kept. So this guy has all the memorabilia
Oh
of
wow.
that movie, and you can look him up on Facebook. They have
Yeah.
Winners Take All, fan page.
Yeah.
Everything you want to know, that's where it's happening, man.
That's
Right there.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
awesome. Yeah. How
So we're
much
gonna do
experience?
something for the 40th. We just don't know what yet. We'll
Oh, that's
figure something
great. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. How much experience did you have riding?
I rode a bit, not like a
Okay.
great rider, but yeah,
Yeah.
I had a little KX80 bat out of hell little motorcycle when I was like 13, started riding, and then I had a Yamaha 125, so I had enough, riding for what they needed. I
Right.
wasn't going to ride in the dirt. Those guys. We got to the coolest part of the making the whole movie is we got to go to the Dallas Superdome, and
Yeah.
while they were really racing, film.
Oh,
So we were
cool. Yeah.
on the track, and you
Right.
don't realize how big those jumps and things are
Yeah.
until you're down there. And what those guys do is just insane. I
Yeah.
don't know how the hell they do it. It's supernatural, but an amazing experience to get to film at the Dallas Superdome and to watch real pros. And we knew
Yeah.
some of them, they were in the movie, so
Yeah.
it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah. I used to take my oldest son to a bunch of the Monster Jam shows.
Yes,
And, as a warm up, they would always do like the supercross. And
yes.
it was really cool. It's something I can never do, but it just, to marvel at it, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and a few guys got hurt on that movie too. Probably the craziest thing was, so they had right before there was a big berm turn. They had a three big hill jump. And we had only one guy that could do all three, like the pros could do.
Yeah.
And then it goes into this big S turn, right?
Right.
So the first time I'm walking on the field, I see him go around once. Next time I look up and he's in the air flying, and he goes right into the wall of the stadium.
Oh, wow.
He made the jump, but then his throttle
Yeah.
stuck and he didn't make the turn. And he broke his arm, broke his leg, and he was our number one stunt guy.
Oh,
And the
geez.
rest of the hospital, and we had nobody who could do the
Yeah.
real great riding at that one, because that was like high level stuff.
Right.
We had no other, and these are all good riders. None of them could do
Yeah.
the triple jump. And so yeah, it was a few guys got hurt making that movie. It's that stuff's no joke.
Yeah. And if you want to see Gerardo, the singer Rico Suave acts, he's
Rico
in that
Suave?
too. Yeah.
Well, Gerardo and I did 3 movies in a row.
Okay.
We did Winners Take All,
Yeah.
and we did Can't Buy Me Love.
Right.
And when we were shooting Can't Buy Me Love, he got the script of Colors, and he knew that I grew up in the neighborhoods and stuff. Not that I was a
Yeah.
banger, but I knew that stuff. And
Yeah.
he was a pop locker and all that stuff. He's like, dude, you're not gonna believe it. They got a white boy in the gang. You got to get on this.
Right.
And I was like, what? Because I
Yeah.
didn't think anybody knew that stuff. So my mentor Virgil Fry knew Dennis Hopper pretty well. He helped him make Easy Rider.
Okay.
So he called him and said, this is my guy. It's the best I got,
Yeah.
And they're like, we can't find a guy that knows how to do this stuff. He's like, well, as soon as he gets back to town, literally, from coming in from Can't Buy Me Love the next day,
Yeah.
I was taking a meeting with Hopper and Sean Penn, took a meeting, and they gave me the job.
That's great.
And so yeah, we did 3 movies in a row.
Yeah. What was being directed by Dennis Hopper like?
Crazy.
Yeah. I can imagine.
He's an insane genius.
Yeah.
Nobody's gotten more out of me in that than Dennis Hopper. And you got to realize, like, I was the 87th character on
Yeah.
the call sheet. Okay.
Right.
But nothing got past him. Like, he saw me playing guitar on my trailer when he went to the bathroom, looks at it, files it away. Next thing you know, the last scene
In the movie, yeah.
Go get your damn guitar,
Yeah.
I mean, how cool, a homeboy playing guitar. This is cool. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly. Yeah.
Like who would have come up with that? And he shot every great mural in Los Angeles. Like, he showed it even in the Vadio, there's art,
Yeah.
but yeah, he threw more stuff at me at like last minute, like the scene where, they're at the party where I'm on PCP,
Yeah.
saying, Whitey, get over here. You're on PCP. We're doing they've been setting up squibs for like 2 hours, but
Right.
literally 2 minutes before, he just like throws this at me. And you're just like, what? Wait, what? What am I gonna do? I mean, you're just like, but yeah, he was tough. He was tough on me, but I think he was tough on me because he knew I could handle it compared to some of the other actors, not the older ones, but some of the younger ones, because they were just so intimidated by him.
Right.
I would just try stuff because he would leave things very loose, but then if you didn't do something, you did something, he would yell at you if you didn't like what you did.
Yeah.
but you got to play the moment. I already had 4 or 5 films under my belt, and I was confident in my work.
Right.
But yeah, he was intense. But him and Haskell Wexler, great DP. I mean, they would argue a lot, but
Yeah.
what they got was fantastic. It was the first movie to really capture the whole gang thing. And broke West Coast rap. That movie was a big deal.
It is, yeah, and that's another one. A couple of years going to approach his 40th anniversary as well. So
Yeah, all my shit's approaching his
yeah,
40th.
exactly.
That's where we're at.
Yeah, no, I know. I feel it's. I feel you too. Yeah, yeah. And Robert Duvall. I mean, he's
Oh,
one of my favorite actors of all
me
time.
too.
And yeah,
Me too,
and
the best.
yeah,
And he lived up to the hype. There was two things he did that really what I really like about Robert Duvall is he treated everybody the same.
that's
Like if you were the director that you're talking bullshit, you say bullshit. If you were like an extra talking bullshit, you say bullshit. But he'd also be nice to you.
right.
Just kept it all real. But so the first thing, we had a table read in South Central Los Angeles, I guess, to make it feel real and gritty. It's some little theater, and it's a lot of actors. Talking about like 100 and some odd actors. Robert Duvall was right there at the front door greeting everybody.
That's
Brilliant
great.
move because, of
Yeah,
course, everybody wants to meet Robert Duvall. So
right.
let's get that shit out of the way,
Yeah,
and just be a team player. It just was a great first moment to establish things. And then the last scene we ever did was the scene where he dies
mm,
up above Dodger Stadium, which is not
right.
too far from where I grew up. And he'd been waiting to work, lying down on the ground. It's like 2 a.m. Finally, Dennis Hopper comes and says, "We're ready." And then it's like, "Oh, we have a lighting problem. Wait." Finally comes, he says, "You ready?" He says, "I'm ready." And then he just kills, right? He kills. It's the best
Yeah,
scene I'd ever seen in my life of an actor who's like 5 feet away from me. And it was the master though, right? And
yeah.
afterward, I had to go up to him because I was just so blown away. And I was like a little kid. I was like, "Dude, that was awesome." And he's like, "Oh, I wish that was my close up. I don't have another one in me like that."
Oh wow.
Like basically, he'd been sitting there storing it up so long,
Yeah,
and then he did do his close ups. They were good, but I really believe what they did was blow up the wide
the wide
into
one.
the close up because you
Yeah,
can see it's very grainy and you can see it's like at a weird angle. But it's such a brilliant performance. It was the right thing
yeah,
to do. And then after that, it was all done. He got up and shook everybody's hand. And then some photographers wanted to do something. And then he blew up at them. And I realized he'd saved all that shit. He didn't let his ego get in
mm,
there because it would have hurt the moment. He can't
right,
get to where you got to go when your ego's in the way. So he put it in check, and then he
right.
just let it all out when he could let it rip and get it off his chest and finished what he needed to finish. And I was like, I learned a lot from this guy,
Yeah,
because when your ego gets there, if you start getting like, I'm Robert Duvall, how can they
yeah,
let you? You're done. You
yeah.
can't do it. It doesn't serve the work, and it's a brilliant piece of work. I mean,
It is. Yeah, it
one of the
really
best
is.
scenes I've ever seen, and been a privilege to be on a set and see.
Yeah, you
And so
can't
he
just.
just passed away, obviously.
Yeah,
And that was very sad. Yeah, because he's one of the greats, man.
yeah, and you can't just act on your name alone.
No, and I come up with that. Like, what are you going to do this time? Well, he
Yeah,
delivered, man. He delivered every step of the way. He delivered. You
yeah,
know, and to me, Sean Penn is the best of my generation. So to get to work with him too, that was just a great experience for me.
yeah. No, he's top notch too, and the fact that he started off in like ridiculous role in Fast
Yeah,
Times, and the way he
but memorable, right? I
yeah,
mean,
memorable, and just
the moment you see
not
this guy,
typecasted at all.
but you're just like, who's this guy? Like,
Yeah,
this Macaulay character is the one that stood out, like jumped off the page. I felt,
yeah,
the movie was fun, but like you saw something above and beyond,
right.
and it turned out to be right. I mean, he turned out to just be this wonderful actor and could do character work really fabulously.
Yeah, yeah. And it's a small scene, but very pivotal, and probably there are very few perfect movies, I feel.
Mhm.
And Back to the Future is like a perfect movie.
Yeah,
Everything about it, it's perfect. Were you on set with Eric Stoltz at all before he
yeah,
got replaced? Yeah.
yeah. I was there. That ended up for me, for him, it was a
Mm,
one of the worst experiences of his life.
right.
We when we did Memphis Belle, we had a
Yeah.
chance to discuss it. He didn't know there was a whole other story. So there was a movie he did called Lucky 13 that was written for me that I didn't get to do because they freaked out that I was underage.
Oh wow. Okay.
Gave it to him. So like I
Okay.
already had an Eric Stoltz like thing
Yeah.
from that, and then beat me out on Mask and all these things. So I was
Yeah.
like, so we finally got to hash it out, and
Right.
he talked about even being on the set of Back to the Future and all of that, and it was
Yeah.
yeah, it was like he thought his career was over,
Mhm.
like because it was such a big thing to have gotten kicked off of.
Yeah.
Uh, But yeah, it ended up being a blessing for me though, see, because there's a thing called drop pickup where you, if you're like working on a show, they have to pay you, but if they want to stop, they can drop you for one time and come back.
Okay.
So they had already dropped me when he got fired. So
Right.
they forgot all about me for like 5 weeks.
Okay.
Matter of fact, it might even have been longer than we negotiated it down to 5 weeks. They freaked out. Like we even called them and said, "You realize
Yeah.
he's still on payroll, right?"
Right.
Or just they had to redo all these reshoots and everything.
Yeah.
The scene where I'm, kicking him down the hall, kicking Crispin down the
Yeah.
hall. He was in that scene,
Oh, okay.
the original, which you can even look at. There's footage to prove
Yeah.
that and such. But yeah, so financially, because it's gone on to be, the most profitable trilogy in the history of comedy.
Yeah.
It's been, the residual income from that's been one of the best and saved my butt many a time
Right.
getting a Back to the Future check. So
Yeah.
thank you, thank you, thank you.
Right. Yeah. And it's on all the time, so it's
Yeah,
yeah.
that and Sweet Home Alabama run on TV constantly.
Yeah.
Those two are just always on something, it seems like.
Yeah, my wife is always watching that, and it's always on our staple on our DVR. She always records it every time it's on, you know. So, yeah, I'm like, oh, here we go again, you know.
My girlfriend's mother is always calling you from New York, going, "Sweet Home's on, tell
Yeah.
us Sweet Home's on."
Yeah, yeah. Can you watch yourself if something pops up?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can. It's really hard. When it's really hard is the first watching the movie. Like we're going to go see the Barn 3 with an audience. It's
Right.
going to be terrible for me. People don't understand because what happens is first you just have all the nerves, in front of you. It's
Yeah.
like sort of like you're exposing yourself in front of all these people.
Yeah.
But also what happens is, especially it takes me 3 times to watch a movie because the first couple times what's happening is I'm having flashbacks to all the memories of making it. So like you're watching a scene and I'm like,
Yeah.
that was 2 a.m. I was freezing my ass
Right.
off. That's all the things I'm remembering.
Yeah.
So I'm not able to really watch it. And the movements and everything I'm doing seem off. It seems all strange. So then I have to go back and go, wait, what choices did I make? And I have to analyze it. And then
Yeah.
the third time I can just watch it. So always after the movie, directors are like, "What'd you think?" And I'm just like, I don't know.
I gotta watch it again. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta watch it again. That's the big part. Is like,
Yeah.
why? But it's my honest answer. I'm not saying I like it or don't like it. I'm just saying I'm overwhelmed by
Right.
the experience of watching it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see to see how the crowd reacts to it.
Yeah.
That's going to be good because I know the special effects on it are going to be really off the charts.
Yeah.
Old school FX, but it's going to be gory. I know
Right.
that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Practical effects in horror are
Well,
what make movies. I feel.
The main guy was a guy who works at Tom Savini's
Oh.
special effects place in PS. So they were really, good,
Yeah.
and they went for it.
Right.
And this is going to be the most the three of the trilogy of the Barn by far
Yeah.
the most ambitious
Okay.
and quality wise, it's a definite step up. Now the question is, how's that going to play with the audience? I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
Because I asked the director, I was like, so do you want do you want my the reel? Like, you want me to bring the reel or and he's like, yeah. I was, are you sure? Because say like a Bruce Campbell, he's great, but it's
Yeah.
not like he has that way of doing it. Like it's real, but it's funny. It's like,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying I can do Bruce Campbell, but what I am saying though is if I have a scene where the reality is I find out that this person was the one who killed my father, I'm going to have if I play it, real, it's going to be pretty freaking intense, but
Right.
people don't understand. And so when we did that one, I was like, yeah, I want to kill somebody,
Yeah.
and I was like, after I was like, is that what you want? He's like, yeah, it's great. I'm like, okay, because this is like taking it pretty hardcore for a horror.
Right.
Movie, but he just kept encouraging me to go for it. So I brought the reel. I just hope the fans appreciate the performance that's very dramatic.
That's cool. Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Yeah, 'cause first two I really enjoyed. So.
Oh, good. I like the
Yeah.
first one better than the second one for sure.
Yeah.
This, like I said, it's still going to be a lot of blood and guts, but I think it's going to be the most ambitious quality wise.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So I used to work at Yahoo Finance, and we were streaming on the Yahoo website. So, and also was simulcast on FiOS, Verizon, and we didn't have real commercials, but we would just air Verizon stuff. So it'd be let's rent a movie, Verizon, you can on demand movies. And for 6 straight months, every commercial break, we would show a trailer for Queen Bees. And I'm like, oh my God, I know every line of this trailer. So finally, after like 4 months of just seeing the trailer on it, I'm like, all right, let me sit down and watch the movie. It
Mhm.
wasn't catered towards me, because
Yeah,
it's like,
right.
but great actresses are in it. Ellen
Oh, yeah,
Burstyn,
some great people.
Loretta
Yeah,
Devine, Jay
yeah,
Curtin, and
yeah,
Margaret.
yeah,
And you had a memorable, cameo in that movie as
yeah.
well.
So how that happened was I was in a comedy workshop in LA before I moved out to Savannah for like 2, 3 years, called the Harvey Lembeck Comedy
Okay.
Workshop. It was taught by his daughter Helene and the brother Michael, who's an established director, has done a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
Right.
Would come in once in a while as well. So I had a relationship with him, and so when I heard he was directing, I just moved out here and was moving in Atlanta.
Mhm.
I called it in and said, "Hey man, you got anything going on? I'm here. Let's." So I had to go down. He made me come down to Atlanta to audition though. I had
Oh,
to
wow.
go,
Okay.
but I got the job. And yeah, it was just really a cameo, but to get to work with all those iconic
Yeah.
actresses was fantastic. And Jane Curtin, who was like the one I was probably most excited about. Not that the other ones aren't
Yeah.
equally, if not more, but I just
Right.
was excited to work with Jane Curtin. She
Yeah.
couldn't have been sweeter. And when we first got introduced, the first thing she said was like, "Oh, I've seen you. You've been on everything." And I'm
Oh,
just like,
wow.
"It's Jane Curtin telling me that,
That's
right?" That
great.
was
Yeah.
so sweet,
Yeah.
just so nice to again make you feel at home, right?
Yeah.
And it goes a long way. And so yeah, I had to. So that was my first job out here in the Southeast.
Okay.
So not a bad first one to get to work with all those great iconic actresses.
Oh, that's great. And she didn't say, "Oh, you still have it on there," so that's good.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
she didn't do anything like that. It's
Yeah.
very sweet. Like, oh, I've seen you. You've been in everything.
Yeah.
So
That's great. Yeah.
so sweet, right? So
Right.
sweet.
Yeah. And another movie that you were in but didn't have a scene with Christopher Lloyd, who.
Yes, yes. Again, and I didn't in Back to the Future. I didn't see
Yeah,
it because
exactly. Yeah.
either. So
Yeah.
so I've seen him like conventions. He's like almost all comedians. Like when they turn it on the camera, they're like one personality.
Yeah.
Usually when the camera's off, they're pretty droll. You know what I
Right.
mean? I think most of them are like got manic, not manic, but I think they're all a little depressed,
Press. Yeah.
because their real personalities are kind of just like, but are you kidding? He's like, I mean,
Yeah.
Jim in Taxi is one of the greatest
Oh,
characters
yeah. It was
in
great.
in comedic TV history, and
Absolutely.
the scene at the DMV.
Oh, taking the
You
test.
do
Yeah.
go to slow
Slow down.
down.
Yeah.
What?
What?
I remember when I was a kid, I literally was on the floor
Yeah.
laughing. I almost pissed myself. I was laughing so hard at that. It's one of the
Yeah.
greatest scenes in comedic history.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely. Yeah.
he's a genius. He's a
Yeah.
genius.
And like the cast, I mean, they nailed it perfectly. It's like one of the best, ensembles in like TV history.
Oh, for sure, for sure. But just yeah, I mean, but that character, my
Oh,
God,
he's
right
great. Yeah.
there, unbelievable, unbelievable. But yeah,
Yeah.
so no, I mean, I'm very thankful to be going all the way back to the Future to be part of one of the greatest trilogies in Hollywood history. Just even no matter how small the part is, just to be even associated with that legacy, as it were, is I'm very thankful. You
Yeah.
know,
That's awesome. Yeah. And
I know that's going to go on forever.
oh,
That's
absolutely. And yeah.
as long as people are watching television and there's cinema, that's going to be there.
Yeah. And it's
You
one
know?
thing that I really hope they don't reboot, remake, just
Yeah,
leave it
yeah.
as is,
Me too. Bad idea. Bad
Yeah,
idea.
absolutely. So it's like
I
it's
hate
like
reboots. Hate
yeah,
reboots.
it's enough already, Come
Yeah.
up with something original.
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You had a small guest starring role on Seinfeld, which is my favorite,
Yes.
sitcom of all time, and the Smelly Car
Yes. Which turned
episode.
out to be a very famous episode. Like
Yes.
it's like ranked up there in like some the top ones, which kind of surprises me. But again, I mean, one of the greatest television shows in cinema, in history, comedic television.
Yeah.
I even worked on it is just a really great thing. It was a really good experience. That was like I think that I had kind of lost focus after Memphis Belle. I came back and kind of thought I arrived. So I wasn't like preparing for auditions, and I
Yeah.
had a band and a production
Mm,
company, and I was about to have a baby. So
mm,
I kind of lost focus for a while,
right.
focusing on all these other things. Were important to me, and I'm glad I did them. But I was like, once I had the kid, I was like, I got to get back to work.
Yeah.
And that was the second job I got, and I kind of went on this guest star run in the '90s, and that was one of
Yeah.
the first ones. But it was just such a classy show. They shoot on film, which like
Right.
only Cheers was doing that before
Okay.
that. So 35, so it was like four cameras, and they also had a. I've been to a lot of shoots. they had it gets for the audience, it gets boring, because it's like they're there for a long time.
Right.
So you have a guy who warms up the crowd, but they did two things. They had a band, which
Okay.
also kept the energy up, but Jerry did the warming up.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that made it like a whole different level.
Right.
That he would go out there and talk to the crowd himself. It made it really cool. So everything about it was just really classy. And just a little side note on Jerry, to say something about him. So when I went to the trailer the first time, I noticed there was all these pictures of Porsche Speedsters, and I already like Porsche. That's my favorite car. Wish I had bought one a long time ago. Now I don't know if I could ever afford one. But they're like, oh yeah, Jerry's really into Porsches. Like he has a collection. So I started talking, and he's like, yeah. I was, yeah, man, I love Porsche Speedsters. Next day, he's like, hey, come on outside. And he went and took whatever car he had, other Porsche, went to the place where he has all this shit, and brought out this beautiful blue convertible sports speedster with a wood grain interior. It was fabulous. But the fact that he just did that, went out of his way to say, hey man, check out the speedster I got, was really cool. It just says something about him, that he would be thinking about somebody else with everything he's got going on. Because he would actually direct the rehearsals for the first couple of days and then Larry would come out the last couple of days. And it was funny, Larry. I didn't know, Larry David. Everyone knows who he is and how he is now.
Yeah,
I didn't know who the hell he was.
Right.
A lot of times in sitcoms, they start second guessing themselves, like this isn't funny or it's not funny enough. And usually the idea they come up with is worse. The next idea is worse.
Right.
So he started trying to mess with my scene, and I was like, don't worry, man, I got it. This is funny. Trust me, it's good. And he's like, Larry David, walking away, and then we had an audience. I nailed it. The crowd laughed. I looked at him like, see, I mean, I know you're a producer on this, but like, I know what the fuck I'm doing. And then he goes on to be, this Larry David with his own enthusiasm and everything. But yeah, we got it because that thing he does, it causes agitation.
Right. Yeah.
We kind of got into it a little bit, but I delivered. That's all that mattered.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because like kids these days don't know the struggles of having to rewind the video cassette before you go to the store,
No clue. They don't know what a store is.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
A store,
Yeah.
Blockbusters, what is that?
You got to go there and hope they have a copy of it,
But it's the only place you can find DVDs now. What is like Amazon or like Walmart, right? I don't think there's anything else.
Yeah, that's Walmart, Target. That's it.
Yeah, Walmart, Target. Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah.
Times change. Everything.
Yeah.
The kiss of death is digital, man. Everything goes digital, and happened in the music business, and now it's streaming. It's happening to the film business. But it's just inevitable. But it usually doesn't seem to help the artists out any. It doesn't seem. I mean, musicians now, they can't make money selling records at all. It's all the touring. It's all the merch.
Right.
Again, the only physical thing they have left is
merchandise.
Yeah. They can't sell CDs, so they have to sell T-shirts. Like that's how they make it.
Right.
And same thing like me doing conventions. I mean, if there wasn't somebody who wanted signed autographs, it wouldn't make a dime.
Yeah. So. Maybe that's why, like, you go and like every T-shirt, the merch stand's like at least $50.
Yeah. But a really good example, you hear actors talk about this stuff, but I finally have one really good example. So, like, one of my decent residual checks is the Burbs.
Okay.
Big studio film, plays. It also always rented really well, this and that. So, there's a reboot of the Burbs on television.
Right. Yeah, TV show. Yeah.
So they decided to take the Burbs and move it to Peacock Plus, or Peacock, right? Peacock Plus.
Yeah.
Ever since then, my residuals are about 1/10 of what they were. So even though it's on there and it's running, the money's crap.
That sucks.
But it just proves. I heard people talk about it, but I actually have literally something that can measure it. And even though it's on there and it's playing and people are seeing it, I'm not seeing the benefits. So streaming's not helping actors. I feel bad for the next generation because I call it a middle class actor like myself. Residuals are what keeps you going, and when you get into that next job, you don't know when that next job is going to happen. Without that, I just don't think it's going to be possible for them not to have a job. And then a lot of them are probably just going to quit, so you're going to lose a lot of good supporting actors. That's my feeling. I feel the supporting actor base is going to go down over time. It's going to show.
Yeah. And you would think with all the streaming sites, there'd be more opportunities.
You would think.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it. And nowadays, auditions wise, it's called self tapes now. You just do them at home, right? Which I was happy for because that was my chance to get out of LA finally, and I don't regret that choice at all.
Yeah.
what I noticed, and what most everybody else I have noticed, is you seem to have to do a lot more auditions to get a job. Like the percentage, like it used to be like, if when I was in LA, I had a pretty high percentage getting like 1 out of 10, which is like a really good.
Right.
And so if I was getting 30 plus auditions a year, that was enough to get enough work to live on.
Yeah.
Now I'll be doing like 30 auditions before I book a job, So like
Yeah.
I think it's just now they have so much to choose from. And then who knows the process. Like I figure like they're getting so many self tapes, they probably have some intern watching the ones they like. And
Probably.
what 20-year-old knows anything I've ever done?
Yeah.
Right? They don't squat, right? So
Yeah.
they have, so it's like, this guy is all right. Next.
Right.
It just seems harder to book jobs. It just does.
Yeah.
Though I'm glad I don't have to live in LA anymore, and I'm glad I don't have to go into offices. It's always very nerve-wracking to audition. I'm much happier to do it at my house, but it just seems like it's not as easy to get jobs. That's just my
Yeah.
experience.
Right.
But I know it's pretty much what everybody knows saying.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Whatever that's
unfortunate.
worth.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
So
business.
yeah, I know. Yeah. I know I spoke to you before about I'm good friends with Michael Vartan and Alias and everything like that. Even
Right.
though you didn't have a scene with him, but
Yeah.
you did a really good, memorable guest starring role on that show.
Yeah, two things. So two things about that I remember. One is I come in on the audition and just thinking myself a little brilliant. They don't like props in auditions. And so the character's supposed to have a ring or something, right? So I just used
Yeah.
a penny.
Right.
It was a prop, but it
Yeah.
wasn't like a overbearing prop.
Right.
But it really helped me. To have something. I think that helped me get the job. So I did the gig, and then they asked me to come back because they had to have him dead, right?
Yeah.
And so two funny things about that. One was that they said, "So, would you mind if we put maggots on you?" I'm like, "Yeah, I would fucking mind a lot unless you're gonna pay me like a lot of money."
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, okay." Like they were like, so we gave you the job. You're getting, and after we negotiate that, right outside, we're gonna go like, "Hey, can we put maggots on your face?" But that's LA for you right there,
Right.
dude. I'm sure they were clean maggots,
I'm sure. Yeah. They were
but
trained,
still,
right?
like that, no, but hell no, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you didn't ask me up front.
Right.
So that was one, and then two, it was just it was a job in LA, not far from where my son went to school. So I was able to, right as I got done, I was able to pick him up from school, but I had like all this dead makeup on and stuff, and so
Yeah.
he's like 10 years old. He gets in the car and just like. He's like, ah! One of my fond memories of scaring the crap out of my kid.
Right. That's always fun. Yeah. It's a good thing no one saw you, trying to pick up a kid with
Yes.
that, makeup
Yes.
on.
I was just in the car going, get in the car, get in the car.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was hilarious. But yeah, can I put maggots on your face?
Yeah. God.
That's LA right there in a nutshell, baby.
Oh my God. So was there, I mean, obviously they didn't do it, but was there like a maggot wrangler or something?
Yes,
Yeah.
they had a maggot wrangler. Yes, they were ready to go with their little box of maggots. So I guess they could use little tweezers and put them on your face, I guess.
Yeah.
I just couldn't go there, man.
I don't blame you. Yeah.
That's a renegotiation right there.
Yeah, exactly. You got to triple what you're
no
making.
pain and suffering fee right there.
Totally. Yeah.
I think the thing is, I was just afraid what was going to try to go in my mouth.
Yeah.
They're all like, they're like, ah.
Yeah. I'm still traumatized by the maggot scene in The Lost Boys. So
Yes. That's how we come. Maggots are look. They give you the shivers, man.
yeah,
I was like,
exactly.
no way to put that on my face.
Yeah.
My eye won't come out or something.
Right. Yeah.
A maggot on my brain. Well, thank you.
Yeah. But Maggot Wrangler, that might be a good band name though.
That
Yeah.
actually is.
Yeah.
That sounds like a punk band to me if they're ever.
It does, yeah. Absolutely. I'll throw that away.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. So
There's
can
a song
you
there, too.
can you flip off people in 40 different languages?
It sounds terrible. I said, yeah, if you paid me enough, I'm sure I could remember it,
Yeah.
I got a new Instagram, Courtney Gains officials. I've been putting up like old stuff, like flashback stuff. And I did that scene
Yeah.
together. And you made me think about the director I hadn't talked to in a long time, Mark Griffith, who knew me he was in an acting class with the casting director, Gino Havens, that put me in that. That was the guy who wrote Lucky 13 for me that I didn't get to do.
Right.
And I reached out, I tracked him down. He lives in Canada now. He's getting up there. It was great to catch up with him. He's always been a real fan and true supporter. And we tried to do 4 projects and we did 2. Shot a movie in the Philippines. and he was very, he was very good at making low budget stuff. Started out doing Roger Corman stuff, then he ended up doing like Lifetime movies and all of that because he knows how to do something on a budget and get it done.
Yeah.
But he had a great career. But it was just great catching up with him because I mean I've known him since I was like 16, so pretty cool.
Yeah, and Roger Corman would know low budget movies.
I tell the story like he writes. He basically I was doing Charlotte Corn. He contacted me and said, "Hey man, I wrote this. I'm rewriting this Roger Corman film. I've like wrote this role like for you, but you still got to come and audition. Just don't screw it up." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So, and then when I got the job, he's like, "Okay, so you got to flip people off in 40 languages. Figure it out." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And I start reading the script. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? It wasn't like back today. Today like you go online and just
exactly
something. So I started asking everybody I knew different ways to flip people off, and then I was like, okay, I've got like 5 or 6. That's not going to be enough,
right?
So like I wrote it out, kind of choreographed it. So I'm gonna have to double it up, like do it like twice to make it
right.
And then who knew it was going to come out to be a iconic thing that people still ask me to do. And I sign them at conventions, whatever their name is, flipping you off in 40 languages.
Right. Right. Do you get asked about that or Outlander more?
I'd say Outlander more. Yeah. I mean, I think Children of the Corn's the main thing. But there's the thing I learned doing conventions though was there's just a ton of Burb fans out there too.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it had such a cult following. And I think one of the reasons is because for the horror fan kids, it was a movie they could actually watch with their parents. Like their parents could deal with it.
Right.
It was something so intense. So it became like a family thing. And then they passed it on to their kid. And so it becomes like this generational where the whole family, like the grandparents, the kids, and the kid can all watch a movie together that they all actually enjoy.
Right.
Because if you're a horror guy, you're kind of like a certain box,
Yeah, absolutely.
Not everybody else is going to want to get in.
Yeah.
They can do it. So it has like a generational following. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and especially you can sell your parents on, hey, Tom Hanks is in it, so let's go watch it.
Exactly. Exactly, and it's fun.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's like I said, it's one the whole family can enjoy, but it's also still pretty quirky.
Yeah,
and so it works for those real horror fans.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, that's my at the signings. That'd be my number 2 signer all the time. Was the Burbs. So
right, okay.
So people come to I get the came with the frame or sardines. I get those. I get those things as well.
Right. So it's not Goose Trammel then, right?
No. That's why I said I was shocked to find out. And like I said, online there's a community. There's an actual community who I had no idea. No, you just never know. I would say you just never know the impact you might have made on somebody in cinema. You just never know. And then when you find out, you're just like all these years later, like you said, almost 40. So it was like 35, 36 years later, I find out the movie actually, and I was able to, send the guy to Fritz, and then Fritz found out his movie had an impact because he didn't think anybody, he thought it came and went too. So it's always nice to know somebody's paying attention to what you did, that it made a difference in their life in some way. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, you've had certainly enough roles like that to make a difference in, people's lives. And I really appreciate your time today, Courtney. Where can people find your music once again?
Yeah, so so find me. You can just find Courtney Gains on Instagram or Facebook, but then I also have Courtney Gains Group, which is on Instagram and Facebook, and that's where you can find out what's going on with the band. Yeah, and I don't know if I said the numbers last time, so I just found out the Wandering Dream is charting at 61, and Been Forgotten in top 40 is holding at 87 right now. So we're trying to get in the top 50.
Yeah, so let's do it. Yeah, because they're both fantastic songs. And
I'll be posting stuff up on there with some of the radio stations. If anybody's lives in those areas and will take the time to say, "Hey, play that song," that would have a huge impact on getting us spins and making a difference. So yeah, go check out the pages and see what we got going on.
Yeah. But once again, thanks. I really appreciate your time. This was great.
It's good talking to you, and I appreciate the due diligence you did. You brought up some interesting topics.
And a special thanks to Courtney for joining me today. Check him out. He's on Facebook, Courtney Gains, and his music is Courtney Gains Group. Instagram, it's Courtney Gains Official. Check out his music. It's also on Spotify. It is really good. And if you have a guest suggestion, hit me up on X, formerly Twitter, at @TheFirstNoel19. Be sure to like the page Reliving My Youth on Facebook, and go to iTunes, check out all the past episodes we've had. While you're there, please rate and review the show. I would really appreciate it. Don't have iTunes? Not a problem. Show's on SoundCloud, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, YouTube. Basically, we're going to put a new podcast. New episode comes out next week. Stay safe, everybody. See you then.